So welcome to the Space Managers webinar. If you are here, you are a space manager on Capacity4dev, or you were invited from the units, INTPA units. This session is being recorded, so if you wouldn't like to be on the recording, please do not open your camera. We Yes. We'll anyway ask you questions. We'll have a 30 minutes or however it lasts Q&A session during this presentation. So keep your questions to the end. You can write them on the chat or you can just wait for your time to speak. We'll have time for everyone today. Today we are covering in this presentation what is the difference or the complementarity of Capacity4dev with other EU tools. So we'll go through some general info, added value of Capacity4dev, its interactive features, and the complementarity with other EU tools. And by the end, as I mentioned, 30 minutes of Q&A session. So some reminders, this is our team. We have a couple of them here today. We have Ariela, Marie, and Maria. Would you like to say hi? Just quickly. Maria.
Yes, of course. Hi. And anytime that you use the support mailbox, I will be your main point of contact. And enjoy this session.
Thank you, Maria. Ariela, which is our coordinator from INTPA. I think you're frozen, Ariela. And Mahi.
Yes, hello everyone. I'm the IT business project manager. So anytime when you need some improvements, it goes to me. So enjoy the session.
Thank you. And I'm the Capacity4dev community manager. I'm here to support you on opening new spaces if you have ideas on what to do on Capacity4dev, best practices, and how to engage members on the content you publish. So you can either, we're gonna leave some links here on the chat, these ones. You can either contact us via the support mailbox if it's more on technical issues, or also if you have queries about the community management, or you can book a call, which is this last link. We have also Dimitri and Claudia in our editorial team, communication team. They manage social media and featured articles and the ambassador program. Here is just some links to drop on the chat because those are the latest public spaces that were launched on Capacity4dev. So we'd like to give more visibility among us space managers. So you can click on the link and navigate a bit on the platform. Also, there's some information we would like to highlight. Multi-factor authentication is now possible on Capacity4dev. It's more of a requirement. So what is the deal? Now you have all EU staff accounts. You need to install the multi-factor authentication. And in July, you will start being valid for all users. So everyone will need to set multi-factor authentication method. What I recommend is downloading the EU Login mobile app. From there, you just need to click one button to approve every time you need to log in. Yes. So for now, also we have some differences in restricted groups and restricted domains. So for all EU staff, all the restricted groups are visible when you browse on groups and also the resources. And then if you are creating a new group or if you have a group already and you like to change who has access to your restricted space, you can only select from a drop-down list of pre-approved, pre-selected organizations. mainly we focus on these organizations as international organizations, EU, but you can contact us if you don't see any of those on your list, and we can verify to include it. New best practice we have the best practices group, which is a group for displaying best practices on how to use the features of Capacity for Dev to make engaging pages interactive and turn to user experience. On our latest updates there, we had made a publication on how to make a newsletter. So many members ask us frequently how to do so, and we don't have a feature for that, but you can use all our features and create a beautiful newsletter. So that's what's on this link. Also, for a recommendation on this second post is best practice using emojis. Is an incentive to use emojis on the platform and how you can do it with your Apple or Microsoft Navigator system. And lastly, on every Friday, we launch the Tips for Users campaign. It's more general on how to use the platform. For example, if you want to communicate with other members, visibility. It's overall can be on any feature you can use on Capacity for Dev. It's being published every Friday on our social media, but also in the best practices group. So let's start with the content exclusive for this presentation today. So what is Capacity for Dev added value? Today we are checking complementarities between Capacity for Dev and other EU tools. But this is like the intrinsic added value of Capacity for Dev. So first of all, we have credibility and reliability. Uh, Capacity for Dev is hosted in EU institution safe environment. It's the only INPA-owned official online and collaborative knowledge management community platform for international cooperation professionals. So you have the international cooperation professionals publishing on Capacity for Dev themselves. And we try to manage our community to be only reliable members that exist, information that is able to be verified as well. So you have all of this as a credible and reliable environment because you have the professionals from the field publishing inside of Capacity for Dev, people from the institutions, from HiQ, and so on. One-stop shop. Capacity for Dev is also the one place where you can go to do many of the things you can do on other platforms. Of course, you don't have the in-depth collaboration methods of Teams, as you're going to see, but you have collaboration tools on groups. You can display public information on your project in a project. You can create more interactive documents or methodologies that you can display on different pages instead of a PDF document if you want more interactivity. You have articles, so we're gonna see that, but it's you can have information, you can display information that is structured with our editorial team to promote yourself, to promote your project, to promote the activity you are working with. So we have projects, groups, resources, discussions, news. We have everything in one place, even the possibility of contacting other members and enlarging your network. All of this, and I'm going to show you this on a brief virtual tour afterwards in a multidisciplinary environment. So you have multiple topics, all of the INCPA thematic areas to navigate through. You have any geographic area you can imagine. So the whole world is covered, and it is divided in regions and countries. Everything that you published at Capacity for Dev can be easily find found. Because we have powerful search engine tools, we have many ways to map and look for information that will guarantee that the information on Capacity for Dev is trackable inside and outside the platform. Which means if you look, for example, for a name of a project that is only hosted on Capacity for Dev, you find it right away as one of the top results on a Google query, for example. Finally, we have dedicated support, which is what we're doing here. It's all the links we dropped on the chat. You can call us for a 101 on how to create your space, how you could develop your idea on Capacity for Dev. If you have technical issues, we're always here to help, especially people from the EU institutions and the space managers. Finally, since I just said finally, we have something that is built by a community. So we have 80% of the content that is published on Capacity for Dev made by its own members. It's not us from the Capacity for Dev team that will be publishing everything. And whatever you publish there, you're not publishing on a simple website where there's people will come and go throughout the internet to click on a website. You don't launch the website. On Capacity for Dev, you have a community. People join the website, people join groups, and whatever you publish there has the visibility from the community inside of Capacity for Dev already. This can be seen on emails, in notifications, in your feed, or even on our social media. So to do all that, we have developed tools, we have developed features inside of Capacity for Dev. Those can be divided in many ways, but for today's presentation, presenting three groups: networking and collaboration tools, a secure knowledge repository, and editorial promotion. So first of all, we have groups and discussions, where you can collaborate with other members. In groups, you can invite people to join, or they can ask themselves to join, depending on the level of security. Um, and by doing so, people get notifications from that group. So I'm interested on this specific topic. I got inside this group. Whenever there's something new, it can appear on my feed or on my mailbox or my notifications. You have events, which is for further collaboration, like what we are doing here today, to discuss. It can be virtual or in presence events, however you like. You can select. There's many categories, but it gives more visibility to your event, and it promotes further collaboration between the members of a group, of a project, or a random topic that you would like to present. Finally, you have messaging. So inside of the platform, you can contact members without having their email address. That's an advantage. Um, you can see collaboration, network, or you can ask them questions. If you see an ambassador, you can ask questions about Capacity for Dev and their work as well. Feel free to contact members. If they wouldn't like to be contacted, there is a setting where you can block messages. So it keeps the privacy of the users. It keeps their individuality, but also allowing this further reach than what we have on other social media. It is also a secure knowledge repository that happens with all the information that is there. Um, Most of all, you have the library, which is in groups, which is in projects or resources. Um, the library can be organized in folders. Um, and you can specify what kind of document. And if you have a PDF, you can scroll and verify the PDF on screen without having to download it. You have projects and news. We're going to focus that on the comparisons more, but the projects, it can be any project on international cooperation published on Capacity for Dev. It gets the visibility from our community, but it also gets the external visibility. It can be used as a project website. On projects, you can publish news, so are things that are happening at the moment, updates from the project. You have the resources, which are our methodological tools, something that, let's say, a document that is powerful, that was produced inside a project or inside of a group, inside your line of activity, but it merits to have its own page, to be navigated, to be more interactive. So then you create a resource. Finally, all of these spaces, they have restricted public or private security. The restricted are open to ECU staff by default, but also to other organizations. The public ones are visible to everyone, even people that have not joined the platform can check the content, for example, in groups, projects, and resources, although they cannot comment. So to comment, they need to join the platform. And finally, private ones are groups that only people that are invited will be able to see them. For editorial promotion, we have our featured articles. If you have seen on the in your homepage, you always have a featured article. They can display lessons learned, experience from the field. We have the ambassadors blog. We have podcasts. All of those, they get more visibility on Capacity for Dev and externally. Um, and you can contact us to collaborate on writing an article. This is a feature that is not available to the general public. You have to get in contact with us to have your article published. We also have the Capacity for Dev social media, which is if you have something that is already published on Capacity for Dev and you would like it to have more visibility than what Capacity for Dev inside of the website can offer, you can ask us, get in contact with us as well, and we can publish your content on our LinkedIn page or X page, and or we can include on our newsletter. We have a newsletter on LinkedIn that is published on the last Friday of every month. And we also have the internal INTPA newsletter that is published quarterly. You can also contact us to have your content there. And do not forget that your own publications, they are a kind of editorial promotion because you are promoting your work inside of Capacity for Dev. And if it's in a public space, it can be found, tracked throughout the internet as well. So this is for people that still would like to open a project. If you're wondering if you already have a project or a group or a resource, but you would like to open another space, this is our diagram for the first analysis. So if you want to have interaction with members, you go for a group. If you just want to share knowledge publicly, more in an unilateral way, you go for a project. Or if you have something to share publicly, or restrictedly, only for the EU staff, for example, but that it goes beyond the scopes of a project of a group, then you have the resources. All right, so now we will go with the complementarity of Capacity for Dev with other EU tools. We start with INCPA's public website. So the focus here is mainly on projects, because on INCPA's public website, and I'm going to show you right now, you can have some of the projects that are financed by INCPA displayed on this platform. It goes like this. INCPA's public website is to put forward INCPA, its activities, its programs. So it's strategically curated content there. So it's not for a broad public to publish all of the projects that are being financed. While on Capacity for Dev, we don't have this filter. The idea that all international cooperation projects can be displayed on Capacity for Dev. So let me share my screen now. So this is a project page on INPA. As you see, you have the title, very big, you have an image, you have the locations, and the information desired to be displayed here. That is strategically curated by INTFA. You have the budget, you have some information, and you can also attach some documents. Well, on Capacity for Dev, let's say, I thought I had the project page open for you already, but this is the one I selected to present today. Let's say this project on policy futures. You also have the possibility of including information in two columns. This information, you can select whatever is more relevant to you. You have all text editor features that allow you to make italic, bold, underline text, insert in a table, make quotes. So you have a variety of features for editing the text. And on this, well, already here on the first line, on the second line, you have whether the project is completed, it's ongoing. You have here the duration, when it was created, the people that are managing it, so you could possibly ask them some questions about the project. You have the related topics and some extra information you're able to insert. For example, a map, or as I mentioned before, many people ask about newsletters. You can create your own customized newsletter, put the links here, and update documents. So the difference overall is that here you have a much more flexible space where you not only you publish the static information that will not change so much over time, but you can also publish news. You can also publish new documents. You can create events inside of it, so people can keep the track of what's going on or was going on during the project activities, not only the project scope or the overall page about it. You have the updates as well. So even if you have a project hosted on INTPA, we recommend creating also on Capacity for Dev for this more dynamic and flexible space. What is interesting as well is that you could find this project by browsing in, for example, if you browse by countries, um, and let's say you want to look for New Zealand. Well, when you go to whichever country you go, you have this feed with variable stuff, but you also have only groups, only projects, only discussions, so you can find precisely the content you are looking for. For example, here I found first already the project I was looking for, but if it was not there, I could go to the project tab. Well, in this case, we only have this project for New Zealand. But then that's how you go, or you can browse content, and you go directly to projects, and then you type the keywords you want. You can select the countries, even SDGs. If it's about a topic you were looking for instead of a country, you can go to here. You have kind of the same page as you have on countries. And you have different feeds showing only the specific content or on overall of it. So you either go to topics and countries, or you go to one of the type of content here below, and you will always find it, or just simply type the keywords here if you don't know what you're looking for exactly. So this is to display how Capacity for Dev enhances also the visibility from the content in there, and provides the possibility of browsing content easily. Although it's a tool under construction, our browse, our topics and countries, it is already an advantage when looking for content on international cooperation. So let's go back to the slide where I was. So as I mentioned, dynamic versus static content. You can update project progress, share insights, and even interact with the stakeholders. And visibility and reach is enhanced through interactive content that are visible and searchable by all international cooperation professionals. Now we go to Microsoft 365. So Teams, SharePoint, those are all dedicated tools for internal collaboration. So here is the complementarity of Capacity for Dev. On Microsoft 365, you can collaborate on real-time documents, so more than one person editing Word documents, Excel sheets. You can share folders internally, but all of that keeps access only inside of this dedicated group. So, for example, it is for a unit, you only have the unit people there. They won't be able to access, people from externally won't be able to access its content. Uh, Capacity for Dev, though, has restricted and public discussion groups, resources, and projects where you can grant access to external people as well. If it's a restricted group, you can select other domain if you like, or if it's a private group, you can invite other people so they will all have the same level of rights. Already by default, EC and EAS, they have exactly the same level of rights. Also, HQ, delegations, all of them will have same access. Um, so you can also, like differently from Teams and SharePoint, you can also invite external partners to connect, even if they don't have a EC email. Um, so you can exchange knowledge beyond the immediate teams you have on your organization. Um, Also, the information that is published on Capacity for Dev stays there and it stays searchable over time. I already show you how to browse content, but this we reference also the, for example, when you have messages on the platform, they stay there forever. They're not erased after 6 months, like it happens on Teams, for example. And finally, you are on a protected area from cookies. By default, all EU members, they can refuse cookies on Capacity for Dev, so all your actions will not be tracked. This is done on Microsoft 365. You have to accept this. They do not track your personal information, of course, but they track your moves. So what you do while using it. So they can collect this data and sell you new products. And we comply with EU data protection standards, GDPR. Everything is accessible to be read on our platform. Uh, and now we have the multi-factor authentication as well to guarantee even further protection. Finally, for internally for displaying information internally or for internal visibility of your activities, you have Impas Internet or the other internets from other units and DGs. Um, Normally, those tools they are only for EU staff communications. While on Capacity for Dev, the complementarity is that we have the possibility of external actors joining and seeing the information, collaborating with it, and also publishing themselves. Um, on flexible knowledge management, Capacity for Dev allows interactive discussions, library repositories, more people collaborating in one thing. You don't need only one access of this person in charge that will be dealing with the information on INPA's internet. It can be done easily by other team members, and they can also join the group, the discussion in there, to collaborate directly in there. Finally, it is community managed Capacity4dev. So while editing rights are limited on the internet, some people have the rights to be editing the information there. On Capacity4dev, you can select whoever you want to be able to edit the information there. If it's a group, you add them as an admin. For projects, likewise. Um, and you can restrict however you like. So you can edit the levels of the restriction, and you can share information publicly to external partners. Even, for example, a struggle that we have is on internet. You're not possible to go if you don't have an EC account. While on Capacity4dev, you have your implementing partners that you would like to collaborate on this. You can ask them to join Capacity4dev and work from there. So to sum up, on IMPA's public website, you can publicly display information on projects. And on Capacity4dev, you have more flexible pages allowing more information to be displayed, the updates, the events, the collaboration. Um, Microsoft 365 tools are perfect for internal collaboration, but restricted to the team you are working with, while on Capacity4dev, you can grant broader, even secured access. You can create restricted private and public environments. You can select the level of restriction. And finally, for internally displaying information on internet, you can do that, but on Capacity4dev, you can have broader engagement, facilitating discussions and including external stakeholders or implementing partners in a control and yet open setting. All right.